I am here with Alvin Henderson, one of the most highly sought after running backs in the nation, here on the Five Star Flex. Welcome to the Five Star Flex, where being a five star isn't just a ranking, it's a mentality. I'm your host, Phillp Dukes, aka Dukes the Scoop. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Alvin Henderson, one
Yes,
of the
sir.
top running backs in the country. Alvin, what's going on, man?
Man, just chilling. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. So I saw you in Atlanta. You had a really good UA camp. So,
Yes,
like,
sir.
what have you been doing? What you been doing lately?
Honestly, we've still been playing a little 7-on-7. So besides 7-on-7, just been putting in the off season workouts, grind. So I'll be preparing for this coming up season.
Okay. All right. Tell everybody where you from.
I'm from Elba, Alabama, a little small town. I live like an hour away from Montgomery, like 15 minutes away from Enterprise. A little small school, small country town called Elba.
Okay. And you go to Elba High, correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
What was it like growing up in Elba?
Uh, it was kind of crazy because man, down here like everybody just live and breathe football. Like in every other sport, we pretty good, but like it's like generational talent. Like everybody down here just live and breathe football. So I knew like growing up that football would always be my dream, and like watching the varsity dudes play on Friday, like that was my one of my main goals to be able to like be like some of those dudes on Friday night. So growing up, just being able to fulfill my dreams and still being able to play football, that's kind of like the main thing I dreamed of growing up.
So, when did you know that you were kind of going to be one of those guys under the Friday night lights?
So honestly, I knew that I was gonna be pretty good when I think it was my eighth grade. I think that was when COVID was out, and they kind of cut us short that year. In Alabama we didn't play that many games. I think we had to play like two or three. Then we used a mask. I feel like I knew I was gonna be pretty good when I was out there competing with like all of the seniors, all of the juniors, like because they were pretty stacked that year. They didn't go deep in the playoffs, but I knew when I was out there competing with them, like making plays on offense and defense. I was a scout team player and I was putting up stats against them. I kind of knew like, man, if I keep like doing everything I'm doing, eventually it'll translate over to the game. And shoot, it did, coach. Like my freshman year, it translated then onto now.
What do you think is probably your favorite drill that translate onto the field when you practicing?
My favorite drill, it's a little drill. We got this thing called Tiger Strap where you go through a little contact, you dodge a little contact, then you make a move on the next defender. That's probably my favorite drill, being able to, because we run the single wing offense and we do a lot of gap scheming where we run it between the tackles. And that drill help us out a lot because then you run it between your two linemen, you don't never know where the hole gonna be at. And then, it's always a free hitter in our offense. So being able to translate the drills to the field, that helped me out a lot.
Man, Alvin, when I look at your highlights, I see explosion and I see that leave away speed,
Yes, sir.
getaway speed, breakaway speed, however you want to call it.
Yes, sir.
When you hit that second level, you hit that gear out of
Mhm.
there.
Yes, sir.
Have you always just been like one of the faster kids? Like, and if you think you would have run a 40, what you think you would run?
Honestly, I feel like, if I run a 40 right now, I know I ran my 40 at the UA camp and I kind of slipped because I really don't practice my 40. But when I practice with my trainer, I always ran like a low 4.5. So I feel like if I was to get back and start practicing for my 40, I'll get out and run like a 4.5. But growing up down here in Alabama, I always like been one of the faster dudes. Even growing up in Little League, I know we used to always run this play called 26 toss, 28 toss and shoot. Coach, I used to score at least 8 touchdowns off that one play a game. So growing up from like elementary school, third grade, transitioning into like big league, little league football, and then coming on to the junior varsity, I always kind of been like a speedy type dude, even like putting on like 10, 15 pounds going into the next season. I always have my speed on me.
So when it comes down to what you would be doing if you weren't playing football. Now I know
Yes,
you
sir.
always grew up playing ball. It's
Yeah.
everything at Elba is about football. But let's
Yes,
take
sir.
football away.
Yeah.
Who is Alvin Henderson without a football in his hand? And what
Yes,
would you
sir.
be doing?
Honestly, to be real, I would kind of be doing something productive. I stay with my mom. She a single mom of 4. My dad died when I was 13. So I always kind of had a drive about myself to just get up and be productive. Like before my pops died, he always told me like, man, you always want to be successful, and football gonna eventually go away. So I kind of always had dreams, probably get into the military. If I didn't get into the military, I got a good GPA, good grade. So even if I didn't play football, I feel like I would be doing something to pertain to my future career. Maybe like I said, always military. And then if I wasn't playing football right now, I'll probably have me like a good job to be able to help and provide for my siblings and my mom for sure. But without football, it's just me, my family down here. I'm just a son that's willing to provide for each of my siblings that's in my house. And I don't want to let my mom down and the rest of my other three younger siblings, because I know, like, my mom, she always behind me or whatever, traveling with me and stuff. So the main thing for me to without football is just to keep my family proud.
Nice. All right, so let's fast forward.
Yes, sir.
You you're a successful NFL guy. You just signed this huge contract. What's the first thing you buy your mom?
First thing I'm getting my mom, I'm gonna buy her a house for sure.
Right.
First thing I'm gonna buy my mom is a house, so I can move her to wherever I get drafted, and my brothers and sisters too. And I'm gonna let her know, like, mom, all the work you put into me, I worked hard enough. Now I'm able to provide for you and get you something. That'll be the first thing I get her.
No, that's lovely, man. I love it. All right.
Yes, sir.
So we done some talking. We kind of get to
Yes, sir.
know you. We know
Yes,
you're a
sir.
driven individual.
Hmm.
You said you would go to the military, so I know you disciplined
Yes, sir.
and you eat, sleep, and breathe football.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of colleges, when they hear that, like, and
Hmm.
then when you watch the film, that
Yes,
like
sir.
make sure we show as many of these highlights because as soon as you turn the tape on, you see it. This
Yes,
guy
sir.
is flying, aka slide. I'm gonna just call you slide because
I
every
got
time
you.
I see you with that thing, you sliding, my boy.
Oh yeah.
But but listen though, all right, we talked before. You
Hmm.
got 6 schools that you want to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about,
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm gonna go down the list in no
Hmm.
particular order and tell me what you like about these schools.
Yes, sir.
Let's start with Penn State.
Penn State. Penn State coach Franklin, coach Sarter, I think Penn State was my sixth offer, and they've been in contact ever since September 1st. I mean, they've been recruiting me hard this whole process. But the thing when I think about Penn State, as I'm talking to Coach Sarter every day, he came down and watched me hoop twice. And then the assistant running back coach came down and watched me hoop for a third time, and they both made instant relationship. Like the first impression, my mom was like, "Man, I really like those coaches." Besides the coaching staff, just building a relationship with me and my family, it's just like the production that Coach Sider has had over these last few years. Like when he sat down with me, he talking to me, he like, man, Alvin, I'm coaching dudes. It's not about just getting the best dudes, but I feel like you the great fit for our system. Like you check all of the boxes and players that I'm looking for. And also with Coach Franklin too. Like I think, they took my homie Dakari last year from the state of Alabama, and they probably got a few more dudes from down. But Penn State not close to home. It's a mile away. So for them to be traveling down 3 hours, I mean three times to watch me play in less than 2 weeks, and then the coaches always contacting me, that rang a bell for me to know that I got for sure got to get up there and see what they have to offer before I make any type of decision.
Nice. When they came to see you play
Hmm.
basketball, did you have a
Yes,
good
sir.
game?
Yeah, I think the last time they came to watch me play was the assistant running back coach, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I had Coach Nix, the running back coach from Auburn. I know the Georgia Tech running back coach was there, and then he was there, and I think that game and the Ole Miss coach was there. I think that game I draw 37 points, and we
Oh
went into
wow.
overtime too. Yeah, we went into overtime that game, and I think I dropped 37. And then the other two games that Coach Sider came to, I think I dropped around the 20ish range. Those both times he came.
Oh wow. Yeah, I saw you
Yeah.
hoop, man. You are a menace in them passing lanes, bro.
Yes,
Like
sir.
I used to play point guard. You the worst kind of point guard to play against somebody faster in them passing lanes.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So let's go to the next school. Florida State.
Florida State. Yes, sir. Florida State, man, Coach Norvell, Coach Tucker, he been recruiting me ever since I was a freshman. And even Coach Florida State 2 hours away, right around the road. I feel like Florida State has done a overall good job just recruiting me, not only as a player but a person off the field. Like every time I'm talking to Coach Norvell, like we don't even talk about football because the first thing he tell me, like, I know what you can do on the field and I know what you can do off the field. I want you because of the person that you are. Every time I'm talking to the coach, they just every time I'm talking to them, they just telling me like, man, you just different. Like the type of heart you have, we see that you driven. We know that you're the type of player that we want to fit our system. And every time I'm communicating with them, they just let me know like, you are our guy. Like Coach Yak called me every week. He tell me like, we only recruiting 3 dudes, and you one of the guys that fit well in the program. And this most recent visit I took, I don't think nobody knew I went down there, but this most recent visit I took, I sat out with Coach Yak, Coach Norvell, and Coach Tucker, and they took my game film and translated it into the offensive system they run. And they had been telling me like every time I went down, like, man, you are our guy, like you fit our system well. But they went back all the way from when Coach Norvell was coaching at Memphis, and they told me like, man, I know other coaches may tell you that single wing offense not anything, but if you translate everything that you're doing in the high school to here, like you only gonna get better. He always tell me like Coach Norvell, the only thing I want to get you here and do is develop you into the man that I know you're gonna become. Like all the stuff on the field gonna take care of itself. I just want to see you come here and succeed.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's heavy. What about Miami?
Miami, so man, they actually had Coach Harris and then had Coach Smith from Ole Miss, and now they got Coach Merritt. But I think I went to Miami down. I went to Miami when they played Virginia Tech, and I liked it then. And then I went back again a few months ago. But the thing about Miami is like Miami's like 9 hours away, and I know like they let me know before. Like last year they had Kevin Riley, which was committed to them a few months, and me and Kevin trained together. But I feel like with Kevin being committed, that kind of made our relationship just grow stronger and like build up closer because while Kevin was committed, they was communicating with me, but I was always like, man, I don't think Miami actually like serious about recruiting me. Well, when September 1st hit, Miami was actually like one of the hardest schools to like stay on me. Coach Cristobal really the main reason. Actually, they whole stuff, Coach Phil, Coach D Train, Coach Hip. Like I'm talking to Coach Hip every day. That's the assistant running back coach. And then the thing about Coach Cristobal, like we have a group chat called two of them called A Train to the U. Like I'm talking, like most majority of the time when you talking to head coaches, like you texting somebody, but it's actually not them. But every time I'm talking to them, like I'm FaceTiming them once a week, like they let me know, like you're our guy. Like it no matter, like it's plenty of running backs in the state of Florida. It's running backs everywhere around you, but you're our guy. Like I feel like the thing that separate Miami the most from any other school, like they let me know, like they run that pro style type of offense, and Coach Cristobal is always gonna get the best O lineman, and no matter where he's at. So I feel like if I was to go to Miami, I would produce early and make an early impact, and I would be surrounded by great coaches.
Let's go with Auburn.
Auburn, so Auburn and State, it's hour and 45 a minute, so hour and 45 away from me. Auburn has did a good job. Coach Lack offered me here like my freshman season. That's back when Coach Harson was here, and me and Coach Lack just always had that day one communication. Like me and him was locked in. And the whole season, like I know you said everybody thought I was gonna go to Auburn because it was just like the relationships I had built with Coach Lack. And I know last January when Coach Freeze took the job, like he sat down with me, he said, man, I only been here like 3 or 4 weeks, but ever since I've been here, like you have been number one on our board. And ever since that day, me and Coach Freeze had that instant connection. Like anytime I'm talking to him on the phone, even while Coach Lack was there, like they was letting me know how much I am a priority to them and that I'm their number one guy. Like I think Coach Freeze told me every time I'm talking to him, every time he talked to my mom, why go to another state and do something that you can do here? Like you play in a great state where Alabama and Auburn is, but you can come here and be special. Like when Coach Lack was there, they always told me, man, we consider you to come in and be the running Brown, the Cadillac to come through in here and just make an instant impact. And that's been the thing. I know Coach Lack left, but even with Coach Nix, like that's still the main topic. Like Auburn considered me as a dude that can come in and make an early impact and get things rolling. I know they had a good 24 class to get things on rise, but I just feel like, with Auburn it's just the relationships. It's in state. I don't have to go too far. My mom could come there and watch me play on a Saturday and drive back home. So it's just like a package all in one with Auburn.
Oh, nice. What about
Yes, sir.
Alabama?
Alabama, mainly Coach Gillespie. I know Coach Saban retired here a few months ago, but Bama has always been on me ever since they offered me. One thing I can say for sure is I was one of the dudes to get an offer like the legitimate way. Like when Coach Saban was there, like you didn't. It wasn't just no, hey, call, you got an offer. Like I was able to say like, hey man, I got a legit offer. But even with Coach Gillespie, like man, Coach Gillespie, I feel like he got Richard and Justice, and then in this last class he got Daniel, and then he got my boy Kevin. I just feel like Coach Gillespie is just like he real. Like he always gonna keep it real with you and let you know what you can do to come to Bama and be special. The main thing with Bama, like it ain't really too much to a coach will have to tell me about them. Like I'm from the state, so I know obviously like the running back tradition. Like I grew up an Alabama fan, watching Bama dominate, watching the running backs take over. So the thing with Bama for me is I just know like if I was to go there, I would get developed for sure.
Okay. And last but not least, Oregon.
Oregon, man, they got Coach Locke out there. Coach Locke, my dog. A lot of people don't really know Coach Locke, but Coach Locke is actually from Montgomery area. And like I said, Montgomery is like an hour away. When he was at Western Kentucky, he offered me. Then when he translated over to Oregon, he offered me. And I actually went out to Oregon last spring, and he told me he was like, man, we getting you out here. We just want to see how you think of what you think about it. It's like 30 hours away from home. Obviously, it'd be something different. It'd shock the world if you was to come out here. And once I went out to Oregon, I fell in love, not with just like the facilities and everything, but just the different culture. Like I always tell my family, man, when I went to Oregon, it was just different people out there. And that's what I'm about. Like I'm always looking for to build new friendships and to be around certain different people, because no matter where I go to college, I'm gonna be around people that's not from like the state of Alabama. So when I went out there, I kind of enjoyed it. Coach Locke, my dog, he always gonna keep it real with me every time we talk. His main thing for me is like, man, Alvin, you my dog. Like, man, just you could come here and be special no matter if it's here, no matter if it's Oregon, like wherever I go, you're gonna for sure have a spot on my board. So that's the main thing. And then Coach Lannon, I communicate with them. But that's really the main thing about Oregon Coach Locke.
When you think you want to shut it down?
I'm thinking, I'm taking my OVs. I really got some visits nobody know about set up here soon. So I'm gonna see possibly I'm gonna say probably June, but I'm aiming for July 13th.
Okay. July
Yeah.
13th, tentatively.
July. Yeah,
Man,
July
Alvin,
13th.
man, it's been a pleasure. Bro, you are a heck of a young man. Like
Yes, sir.
the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, even the way that we've been communicating by phone, we've been leading up to get this done. I just want to say, man, I know your pops is up there proud, and I
Yes,
know
sir.
mama is proud to have a man like you in the house. So,
Yes,
man,
sir.
big props, big shout out, man. And I'm proud of you for
Yes,
handling
sir.
yourself the way you do, man. Take it easy, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.